Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is literally just a video on me, my return. What has it been, like 5 years? I've been through so much life, basically. So, excuse my absence. As a matter of fact, I thought about, if anyone has remembered my post, I thought about just completely stopping astrology videos and doing them on Tumblr. If you haven't seen my Tumblr already, please subscribe. It was really just so, safety reasons why I started doing readings on Tumblr. That means tarot readings, everything. Also, if you would like to see me do tarot readings on YouTube, please let me know. But as far as astrology, birth charts, observations, things that like this, that, and the third, that has been moved to my Tumblr. I'm going to be talking about one of my posts that I made. Is from 2024. It is a very informative post. I hope you do not take it lightly, but I will be discussing it here. And before I do that, please let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see me continue my rising sign series, and which rising sign would you like me to do next. We can continue that series starting now. But further ado, let me go to my, one second. And the reason why I'm talking about these observations is because, like I said, I moved to Tumblr for a specific reason, but I'm willing to give more than just information on the signs, but information that may apply to you as an individual person in your particular birth chart, or to people who you know personally that may have these placements and have had these experiences dealing with handling these placements that they were born with in a personal birth chart. Okay, without further ado, for you guys, I think I have like 5 parts of my astrology observations. Mind you, this is observations that I've developed over the years, downloads that I've got from, universe, my own intuition at that, but mainly just personal experience and studying other people, such as celebrities. I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. I'm kind of nervous. This is my first time back on YouTube in 5 years. But celebrities, people who I know personally who have dealt with these issues. It's actually a big thing for me to move from Tumblr back to YouTube. So I appreciate the support. I have not stopped seeing people's comments, and I really, really appreciate your support and kind comments. Okay, some of these, of course, I already know at the top of my head, but just so I don't forget anything, I'd rather read straight off my Tumblr. Here's my Tumblr right here, at theegoddessofspring, same as my YouTube username. Let's see. Let's start with number 1, Venus trine ascendant. Venus trine ascendant can make really gorgeous people, but may be way too friendly or superficial when meeting new people. Everyone is not your friend, and vice versa. Once again, I cannot talk. Example, celebrity Megan Thee Stallion has Venus trine ascendant. Moon square Pluto people. I have Moon square Pluto, so when Moon square Pluto people may secretly hate or despise or are greatly disgusted by their mother. For some, it can go as far as wishing death on the mother. Especially growing up in a toxic and or abusive home environment. Since Pluto is the planet of death and extremes, they may go back and forth between love and hate relationship with their mother. Sadly, this can also affect Moon square Pluto people's relationships. I've dealt with that before, especially when I was much younger. I'm 30 now. I had more of these intense feelings even now, but especially when I was a teenager as far as my relationships go. So be very careful of that. A lot of people with Moon square Pluto, or Hades moons in general, have to do a lot of shadow work to pull the murky shadows, the shadows of themselves out of the murky depths of the water, the ocean, these swamps. whatever it may be for you, be very self-aware when you're born with moon square Pluto. A lot of tragic events, if you didn't know, happen when the moon was squaring Pluto. So the moon, well, the mother can be very jealous, possessive, as well as dominating or domineering. If you have moon square Pluto, you have a very dominating and domineering mother. Even in adulthood, your mother could still treat you like a child, or she will have a great dominating influence, or you may feel like you owe your mother something. Even if you move out the home, you move far away from her, even if you don't speak anymore, there's some type of guilt, as if you owe your life to your mother. For some people with Hades moons, in particular moon square Pluto, she could be obsessed with you in a very unhealthy way, sometimes even overprotective, very overprotective, when in reality she is the one you need protection from, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, subconsciously, or psychologically. This makes it hard to control your emotions, but most get a lot better as they grow older. And by older, I mean over 30. You're officially an adult as far as religion goes when you hit 30. You're fully developed, hopefully mentally, you know, but physically you're more developed, say, than you were at 21. You're not really an adult until you're 21. When you're 18, you're legally an adult, but you're still a kid, you're still a teenager. By the time you hit 25, you're already halfway there. When you hit 30, you're into full-blown adulthood. That's why a lot of people believe that 30 is old. Also on top of, you know, back in the 80s and below, a lot of people at 30 looked 50. Usually people with moon square Pluto, they don't improve until well after 30. Even some people I've seen or known in their 40s still have a troublesome relationship dealing with their emotions and dealing with the relationship with their mother. It's very hard to control your emotions, especially as a woman when you're born with moon square Pluto. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Apparently, you know, in religious beliefs, the human body, the human everything is supposed to stop aging at age 30. So the way you look at 30 is the way you're supposed to look now, and hopefully you have the knowledge and experience to know what you need to do from there. Next up, we have people with sun square Pluto. My brother has this. So it's similar but the opposite of moon square Pluto. You know, the moon rules the mother, the sun rules the father. So you have a tremulous, I cannot talk, tremulous, okay, please don't come for me, a relationship with your father, or you have intense brewing emotions towards your father. A lot of people I've seen with this placement, their father either wasn't in their lives, or their father has beat them, or their father has been really emotionally intense towards them, what has made you or them emotionally intense towards their father and their relationship with their father. Sun square Pluto, again, like the moon square Pluto, to me, I think, my personal opinion, moon square Pluto is worse than sun square Pluto because, you know, as women, you usually are more emotional. Women can be crazy with their emotions, especially depending on the person. So you have a very troubled upbringing either way. But as far as your daughter, because you know mothers are harder on their daughter than their sons, for most people, not everyone, it can be very nerve-wracking, stressful, intense. I feel for people who have moon square Pluto. I feel for people who have moon, sun square Pluto. Pluto deals with extremes, chaos, death. You can literally die inside 1,000,000 times to become a new person when you're dealing with the moon and the sun squaring Pluto. It's a very scorpionic placement. It's like having the moon in Scorpio, but 10 times more intense. It's not fun being born with these placements. May have a toxic, controlling, dominating, or abusive father. The father may have instilled fear in you as a child, same as Chiron in Scorpio. People with Scorpio in the 3rd house, next up. People with Scorpio in the 3rd house may have toxic and or secretive or highly sexual siblings. You may attract a lot of jealousy in your early school years as a child. May even have siblings or neighbors who are jealous or spiteful of you at some point in your lives. Or you could live in a dangerous neighborhood at some point. My partner has this placement, and he lived in New Orleans, in Gentilly, New Orleans. If you know the area, or if you heard about the area, it's not safe. Men with Chiron and Scorpio. Men with Chiron and Scorpio may have felt powerless against their father when they were really young. You may even still feel that way, but especially when you were really young. People with Pisces in the 4th house have a bipolar mother or a grandmother or female figure in the home. This is also common when people with Moon square Pluto. Your mother can be emotionally unstable or have bipolarism, or your grandmother or your great-grandmother, or all of the above. You usually have problems with women when you're born with Moon square Pluto, man or woman, but especially a woman with Moon square Pluto. People with Pisces in the 4th house have a bipolar mother or grandmother or female figure in the home. Again, there may be an addiction to drugs, alcohol, to some people in the home, especially the mother figure. At the least, everyone in the home could just smoke a lot of weed, you know. Or the mother could be very emotional or mystical. The home or family in general can be very dysfunctional. People with Chiron in the 4th house. One second, my phone froze. People with Chiron in the 4th house may have a toxic family or are constantly badmouthed, gossiped about, shamed or bullied by their family no matter what they do or say, distancing themselves or lacking trust in family. May have grew up in a very strict, orderly household. I have this placement. I have Capricorn in the 4th house. You can be very strict with your own home, but of course not the home that you grew up in. You usually are much different than your parents, but it's not so light and airy all the time when you have Capricorn in the 4th house. You go by very strict rules, routine. Anything in your home has that Capricorn signature. Aries and Scorpio in the 4th house may have an abusive, hot-headed, or rowdy mother or home life. A Scorpio 4th house, like Pluto in the 4th house, may have a lot of illegal, chaotic, secretive, sexual, unfaithful, or toxic activity going on in the home. More than likely from your mother. The 4th house, like the moon, rules the mother, or from your family in general. Whoever lives in your immediate household, there's a lot of shady shit going on behind the scenes that you may or may not know about. Being born with Pluto or Scorpio in the 4th house. Next up, your mother may be very religious or philosophical if you have Sagittarius in the 4th house. My partner also has this placement. Very weird or unconventional home or mother with Aquarius in the 4th house may have a lot of technology in the home, like Aquarius moons. Your mother could have been more like your friend. Sadly, I see this often. People with Aquarius moons or Aquarius in the 4th house usually have a very detached or eccentric mother, or you could just really get along really well like friends. Your mother probably cooks a lot of home-cooked meals with Cancer in the 4th house. When you have Cancer in the 4th house, kind of like the moon in Cancer, it's in its dignity in the 4th house. More than likely, obviously, you have an Aries rising. My mother has this placement if you have Cancer in the 4th house. 6th house stelliums also often get very sick or injured very easily. Same can apply to Pluto in the 12th house. Saturn in the 6th house may be workaholics, as well as people with Capricorn or Saturn in the 10th house. People with Saturn in the 6th house may be overweight or love to eat a lot, which can cause health problems like diabetes, etc., etc. in the future. These people are also easily injured. This is especially true if you are born with the moon in Taurus. Virgo moons often are seen as very intelligent or nerdy, even if they're not. It's just the way that they look. Virgo moons are also naturally born micro managers. You may make a very great manager when it comes to your own business or someone else's business, or you may already be a manager somewhere. Capricorn moons often take a while to open up about their feelings or what's going on in their mind, especially in their relationships. Be very patient with them. It will take them a while to open up to you. It's nothing personal. People with strong 8th house placements may heavily enjoy or favor horror, thriller movies, books and comics, anything to do with horror, art, everything. People with strong 8th house placements, especially Venus in the 8th house. I have Venus in the 8th house in Gemini. If you didn't already know, I'm a Libra rising. I also have Venus as my ruler of my chart, which falls in my 8th house. So I look very Libra, look very Scorpio, very intense, serious, girly, beautiful, all those things to do with Libra and Scorpio. Libra sun and moon women and men, for some, can jump into relationships or marriages very quickly, and it can end very quickly as well. Pulling from its opposite sign, Aries. Aries wants to do everything fast and quickly. They want to get shit done quickly. What if that's putting a ring on your finger? Not most Aries. Most Aries are not looking towards marriage. Mainly, I'm speaking about Aries men. So, if you're different, kudos to you. But most Aries placements, everything, including love, can be quick, and it can burn out as quickly as it started. Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian are Libras in a Libra moon. They literally change men like underwear. So, Scorpio and even some Sagittarius men may openly be attracted to minors. Example, Diddy, Drake. The Game. I said what I said. Water signs make up most of the serial killer population. That has been proved by the FBI. Pisces, along with, their brother sign, sister sign, Virgo, are usually the top serial killers. But especially Pisces. Especially Pisces. Pisces risings have both parents who are addicted to either drugs, alcohol, or both as a form of escapism. Either that or both parents are mentally ill, or they use religion as a form of escapism. Like a lot of people I notice who are born as Pisces risings, their parents are usually pastors, preachers, Jehovah's Witnesses. They're heavily involved in the church as a form of escape from the real world. They may lack discipline and responsibility because of this, if you're born with a Pisces rising. Or you could have Peter Pan syndrome or other mental illnesses. Or this can just be your parents. Usually the rising sign represents both parents, unlike the moon, which represents the mother, and the sun, which represents the father. So you can have both parents who suffer with mental illness or addictions. Any type of addiction, sex, drugs, alcohol, gambling. You usually have those type of parents, sadly, when you're born with a Pisces rising. This may or may not influence them to do the same escapist behaviors and habits later on or early in life if not careful. Some may even be born already addicted because of the mother's habits while pregnant. It's very sad. If not self-aware, Pisces risings can drink like the true fish that they are. Please be careful how much liquor you put into your body, especially if you cannot handle your liquor, Mr. or Mrs. Pisces rising. You beautiful soul. Again, if not self-aware, Pisces risings can drink like the true fish they are, literally escaping and re-entering out of two different realities or realms like the two fish do. They're literally doing this, going in and out of two different doors, two different realms, two different realities. That's Pisces. And the same can apply to Pisces moons, as I said before. Even some Pisces suns but mostly Pisces risings and moons usually have a mother or both parents who have a strong addiction problem. Richard Pryor is a prime example. He's a Pisces rising. He had a really bad problem with coke. And God knows what else. You know how the 80s were. People with sun in the 12th house usually can permanently have alcoholic or drug addict fathers. When you have the sun in the 12th house, even if your father no longer does that, they probably drank a lot and didn't realize, you know, even if they don't exhibit or exude those behaviors now, they usually have a problem with alcohol. Like I said, any type of addiction, drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex. That's what it's like to be born with the sun in the 12th house. And you can be a very eccentric and dreamy when you're born with the sun in the 12th house. Everyone I've dated was born with the sun in the 12th house. That just goes to show, you know, something about my psyche that attracts those type of partners, or my energy. But each and every one of them, well, except one, were very beautiful, great souls. I don't regret dating them one bit, despite, you know, whatever their father was doing. Or, you know, your father could be the type to, since Pisces rules isolation, they may be the type to never leave their home. They may never leave their room. You know, when you're having family time, they may like to be to themselves. Pisces rules loneliness, seclusion, isolation. They may isolate themselves a lot if they don't have an addiction problem or, you know, a mental illness. It's usually addictions when you're born with the sun in the 12th house. Let's see. People with sun in the 12th house could have been conceived while the parents were having high or drunk sex. Yes, I know a few people whose parents have done this when they, you know, they were born with the sun in the 12th house. Pisces women may become mothers as young as 13 to 21 years old. Sorry, no offense, but literally everyone in my life is a Pisces. Mostly Pisces women, and this seems to be very true for most people. If this does not apply to you, take it with a grain of salt. For some, it's an obvious mistake, you know, naivety, immaturity, while others, it may be a form of slutting themselves out very young. Pisces is a sign of the slut or the whore. Just like Scorpio is the sign of the sex addict. Scorpio rules sex. Pisces rules addictions like sex. So yes, you can be a big old freak when you're a Pisces sun. And it may or may not apply to Pisces moons and risings as well. Let's see. For example, I have a Pisces cousin who's been sleeping around with men since she was 14 years old and doesn't know who either of her children's fathers are. Pisces rules the unknown. That can mean also an unknown parent. Some Aquarius men may be submissive robots in relationships and marriages, letting their wife wear the pants as long as they benefit in minor ways. Same applies to some Cancer men, even if they're unhappy. They usually settle for less in their relationships and marriages. Sadly, I don't know why they do that. Same can apply to those who have the sun at 4 degrees, 11 degrees, or 22 degrees. Next, Leo men like to be pampered like the big kitty they are. This is so true. Like, again, my partner is a Leo, and I swear to God, that's all he loves from me is, you know, as a Venusian woman, I like to take really good care of my hair, skin, nails. I like to pamper myself. I like to get done up. I like to look beautiful, pretty. I like to take care of my skin health, hair health, inner health, body health. I know this isn't healthy, but I'm quitting, I swear. I take really good care of myself. So I think any Taurus woman or even a Libra woman, I'm a Libra rising, will be great for a Leo or a man in general, or even a woman who likes to be pampered. Libra and Taurus are womanizers. And I'm talking about Libra and Taurus men. Even some of the women, you know, they can get men or women, just as much as a man can get a woman or another man, depending on, you know, your sexual orientation. I've never met a single Taurus or Libra man who wasn't a womanizer, who has had multiple women under their belt. And I would say they both sometimes can be equally as heartless when they do end the fling or relationship. But sometimes it can turn into, you know, something more beautiful. But I've never met or seen a Taurus man or a Libra man who was not super flirty with women. And some Taurus men actually end up turning into stalkers. I don't know why they do that. That's always been my experience with Taurus men, but like I said, if it doesn't apply, take it with a grain of salt. It may be easy to seduce a woman, for they are ruled by the feminine planet of Venus, may or may not apply to Libra moon and rising men. Mercury in the 12th house are often sadly seen as stupid or childish. You know, the 12th house rules Pisces. Pisces are very dreamily. They're always in their own world. As far as speech, whatever they're thinking literally comes out of their mouths. I see that a lot with Pisces risings too. They just say what's on their mind. It can sound really bizarre or childish, or just they just blurt out things, you know, whatever they're thinking. I just find it so cute. Like they're literally just living freely. Next up, Capricorn moons may love or be attracted to older women or people in general who are older than them. They may associate themselves, friend groups, etc. Or mainly, you know, their women, their relationships with ones who are much older as in, even if it's a year older, 2 years or 3 years older, usually up to 10 years older than them. Capricorn moons are usually attracted to those kind of women or men. Capricorns may be attracted to Libras and vice versa, but it makes a toxic couple. They are not compatible. Libra is the devil's advocate and his favorite. Capricorn is known in the Bible to be the sign of the devil. That's why, you know, the tarot card, the devil, represents Capricorn. Is ruled by Saturn, which rules over Capricorn. If you do tarot, or if you know about occult knowledge of tarot, the devil card in tarot represents Capricorn. They make great friends though, I will say that, but it never works, Libra and Capricorn. But they are highly attracted to each other, just like Libra and Pisces. Those are very common couples as well, and it just never seems to work. They're so attracted and in love with each other until they're not. I really hope that isn't the case for, you know, ASAP and Rihanna. My parents, by the way, are a Libra and Pisces couple. Libra man, typically, and Pisces woman couple. And it did not work out. They broke up literally the moment right before I was born. Not when I was born, right before I was born. They broke up. It got so bad. I wouldn't recommend that relationship on anyone. Next we have Leo and Aquarius. Another beautiful couple that does not last. Opposites. As opposites, obviously opposites attract, but they clash. It's another common couple that doesn't seem to work out. But as friends, go for it. Leo and Aquarius are one of the biggest opposites that attract. Capricorn and Aquarius couples are common, for they both are ruled by Saturn and Uranus. I think that's a pretty great couple. Of course, it's not gonna work for everyone, but that's a pretty great couple, Capricorn and Aquarius. Sex between opposites, Scorpio and Taurus, can be mind-blowing, but a relationship between the two can be very sour. It can turn very sour. I've seen this before. You click with them so well. Like for me, all of my best friends were always Scorpio women. And as far as female attraction, why the fuck can I talk today? As far as female attraction, I've seen to attract mostly Scorpio women. I'm bi, by the way. Just to throw that in there, and it's always been so intriguing to me. And one of them was the pushy type of Scorpio, and then others was just more like flighty, weird, eccentric, type of Scorpio. She had to have been a number 22 like me. The number 22 belongs to Aquarius, and then there's a master number. And she was very much like me. I didn't know she liked me back, but it was still a fun experience either way. I think this makes a beautiful couple until it turns sour. Now, I don't know how it works, woman and woman. Taurus woman and Scorpio woman. But as far as Taurus man and Scorpio woman, or Scorpio man and Taurus woman, they'll kill each other. Especially a Scorpio man and a Taurus woman. You will kill each other. Do not recommend. Opposites attract, but that does not mean it's meant for you. Pisces and Virgo are also very common couples. Again, opposites attract. Virgos are also attracted to women with Neptunian aspects, Piscean aspects. Libra and Aries make power couples. Of course, once again, it's not for everybody, but as far as I've seen, those are the main opposites that do really well together. Unless the Aries man or woman is very unevolved, I've never seen them not work. Usually these types of couples get married, but to each their own. Taurus and Taurus couples are a lot of fun, but sometimes sugar on top sugar, you know. We're all about sugar and glitter and money and art and beauty. Us Taurus men and women. Even if they're not trying. But like I said, sugar on top sugar can leave a very, very bad cavity. Especially since they're both fixed signs. I mean, you can't have stubborn and expect that to work, especially as far as the same sign. Honestly, I'm sorry. I wouldn't recommend anyone date their same sign. Ever. Ever. Congratulations to those who it's actually worked for, but I've seen it too much. Especially if you marry your own sign. Never marry your own sign. Dating is one thing, but marrying them, and to make it worse, if you marry your own sign, or if you marry someone with the same birthday as you, don't do it. That's my advice to you. Don't do it. You're going to be miserable. You will get a divorce. It will not work. I'm sorry. Do not ever marry your own. Excuse me. There needs to be a balance, you know. A balance. A balance. Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox were a prime example. All right. Peace.